Alright guys, we are here today. We got a prelim non-farm data coming out. We got Tesla delivery numbers at 9 a.m. What do we got gold doing? Most of the markets are down. There's Nvidia down to 116. Yeah, like my power seems to be kind of out. My power went out twice this morning. Luckily, we have a generator in my house, so it doesn't matter, but still. What's up, Steve? So yeah, so basically we got prelim non-farm payroll data coming out at 8:15. This drops in less than an hour, and then we got Tesla delivery numbers closer to 9 a.m. So yeah, so we got, again, we got about 52 and a half minutes left or so. Yeah. Here is the timer for that. I'll put myself in the bottom corner for now. Prelim NFP data called non-farm employment drops at 8:15 and is expected at 128K. So this is like prelim non-farm data. It comes out the Wednesday before non-farm data. We also have Tesla deliveries being released around 9 a.m. today. Expectations for those are for, what were they expected at? Let me see. 461,000 EVs in the third quarter is what they're expecting. Again, 461K is what we're looking at. Around 461,000. Now we'll see if it happens like that, but around Alright, so here is basically the update. Put myself right there. Let's see if I can find a better spot for it. I can also put myself up here. I guess that's probably a little bit better. Yeah, I'll probably at least trade the NASDAQ some today. Probably, at least. You know. We'll see. I want to make sure you guys can see the timer. Yeah, there's the timer right there. Yeah, I mean, I'm not Thomas too political, bro. It doesn't matter. Yeah, just too political for me. Yeah, the last couple days we've had definitely red action. Today's interesting though. We do have some economic report. Like we got non-farm employment data coming out today. It's a pretty big day, a pretty big report. But Tesla delivery numbers, I would say, are probably a little bit larger. We'll see what happens. You know. Again, I'm trying to look up some other stock news that we got going on today. Again, luckily I have a generator, which is nice. Like. So, like, I felt my power. I was sitting here creating my live stream, and my power just cut out. My whole computer, everything, lights went out, and it was dark. And so I said, oh, no. And then I remembered we had a generator. So within, like 20 seconds, all of my electricity, like, shot right back on. And so we're fine. Luckily, again, I'm so glad we bought that generator. You know, and that generator can literally power this whole house. Probably got to turn off this heater. But yeah, we're good. All right. Yeah, so Nvidia down a lot, honestly. Nvidia down a lot. Like, we just had brutal red action. I got beat up yesterday at the open. And honestly, we kind of just kept on dropping yesterday, too. Like, we didn't rebound at all. We just kind of kept on dropping. Yeah. I don't know if I have a favorite coffee. It all tastes the same to me, to be completely, like, real. I like hazelnut coffee, So I like hazelnut, but yeah, yesterday was tough. We definitely lost. Oh, somebody. Yeah, so today, again, it's a pretty big day. Tomorrow, we got ISM services and manufacturing orders. Friday's the biggest day. Try to see what we got next week. Next week, we got the Fed minutes report Wednesday. Next week's kind of... Oh, no, next week... Yeah, we got CPI next week. So next week's actually super busy, too. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, good. Whew. Bro, I was about to say, bro, like... Alright, so just to put this into perspective, this is next week. Right, I kind of had a little mini panic. So this is next week. Okay, so next week, guys, we have... the Fed minutes report on Wednesday. 1, 2, 3, 4 Fed speakers outside of that. Thursday, we have jobless claims, CPI data, core CPI, CPI, and jobless claims. We also Thursday have the Tesla robotaxi event that night. So Thursday night, we have the Tesla robotaxi event. And then Friday, we have PPI. It's weird. It's on a Thursday and Friday this month. So Monday, Tuesday, slower. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all really busy next week. And then I don't know what we get the week after that. But, man. Yeah, I don't know. I have fiber optics. So, like, as long as I have power, I have internet. Tesla's starting to rebound a little bit, though. Check out on Tesla delivery day. Tesla's coming back some. It's at 257s. It's holding its gains fairly well relative to a lot of other stuff. You can kind of see Tesla here on the right. It's a big day, big report. Let's see what we get. Again, we got less than an hour before we got the prelim non-farm data. So Nike, how did Nike do for earnings? I know Nike had earnings yesterday. Nike did poorly for earnings. They were still up a lot, though. They were at 90 plus at leading into earnings, so they still did okay. But yeah, Nike dropped. Their earnings were higher than expected, but they fell. They said it was withdrawing its financial forecast for the full year and postponing what would have been the first investor day in 7 years. Current CEO John Donahoe is retiring later this month and will be succeeded by the company veteran Elliott Hill. Nike pulled his full-year guidance, they said, in consequence of that. But I don't know. Yeah, I wonder if it'll let me have a scroller. I wish they let me scroll stuff across the bottom. All right, guys. Palantir's doing good in a safe bet. Where's Palantir? I know it went all the way up to almost 40 a few days ago. It's dropped down to 36 now. Yeah, yesterday's sell-off was brutal. I definitely lost money yesterday. And that's okay. So yeah, so LPL Financial stock is falling in pre-market after it fired its CEO. I don't know much about LPL company. Yeah, so this is LPL. I'm assuming it's a bank. It's not really a company I know super well. Good long-term trend though, but like they've gone up a lot since 2020. They were at in February of 2020, they were at like, or March of 2020, they were at $50 roughly. A little bit under that for some points. Now they're at $250. So they've gone up. They've gone up 400% since then. So pretty big gains for them too. I don't know much about them, of course, but we'll see if they continue. Where'd my music go? Again, Tesla deliveries, interesting for sure today. They expect 461,000 EVs to be delivered globally in the third quarter. Annual delivery estimates coming in at 1.79 million, according to Bloomberg. It would be a sequential improvement from quarter two for Tesla, where they delivered around 444,000 vehicles. It's still going to be below the 466,000 delivered about a year ago. Tesla stock also, as we've been saying, is up a bunch over the last few months. If we have a strong third quarter delivery report, it's going to help a lot of fears, I think. Barclays analyst Dan Levy says he sees deliveries topping 470 in quarter three, easily beating estimates. He said, quote, "Our delivery estimate implies volume up 6% sequentially and up 8% year over year, which would be Tesla's first quarterly result in 2024 with a positive year over year growth." He wrote in a note to clients. He said, quote, "We believe that a beat could drive further strength of the stock into Robotaxi Day, serving as a reminder that at least for now, concerns on fundamentals have dissipated." Another Tesla speculator is Dan Ives at Wedbush. He's predicting that not only will sales go up in quarter three, or get better at least in quarter three, but also that profitability may finally get better after, losing some steam over the past year. He said, quote, "Importantly, we believe price cuts are now mostly in the rearview mirror and should remove a margin overhang from the Tesla story, which has plagued the name over the past year." He wrote in a note last week. He said, quote, "We believe gross margins should finally start to rebound from these levels, with third quarter being a big step forward," end quote. Yeah, so Cybertruck also getting some S&P Global Mobility data showed that Tesla sold over 5,000 Cybertrucks in July, the most recent month for which the firm has data, with year-to-date sales sitting right around 7.7 thousand as of July. So how much are Cybertrucks now? They're really not that expensive. I mean, they're expensive, don't get me wrong, but they're like $100K. Some of them are cool, Aren't they bulletproof? Okay, they're basically bulletproof. They can't stop a 50 cal, but nothing really can, of course. Like a bulletproof vest won't either. But it can withstand 9s, 22s, 223s, which is like a 223 is like a AR. So yeah, I mean, look. But you can't wash them? Well, it'll be alright. Did the doors open? How did the doors open? My favorite thing about Teslas is how the door opens, right? Where they open up, like, you know. They're cool cars, though. They're cool cars. The question is how will they age is the question, right? Like, that's the biggest, like, worry. So it looks like they don't open up in a cool way, like Cybertruck doors. The question is how will they age? That's the real question. Who knows, man? It's not that. It's not the suicide doors, unfortunately. Market didn't crash yesterday. Market went down for sure, though. Market went down for a lot of reasons yesterday, specifically the port strikes, the geopolitical uncertainty and conflicts overseas for sure influenced the market dropping yesterday, caused oil to spike up some, stuff like that. And so, yeah, those are the main reasons. Again, port strikes causing pessimism is the easiest way to put it. And then, yeah, stuff going on overseas. All right, guys, we still got 40 minutes before we have the non-farm employment data coming out. 40 minutes. Nvidia bouncing back, though. Tesla bouncing back. The SPY still at 568. Yeah, I didn't watch the debate, guys. Again, I am not a political guy. I'm not lying about that. Like, I don't, you know, I don't get wrapped up in it. I really don't. And maybe I'm wrong for that, and some people are going to argue I should. I think that none of it freaking matters, man. I don't like politics in general. I just avoid it. I'm not going to let it stress me out on a regular basis. When Nvidia continues selling today, I don't know. It depends on what delivery numbers, or no, it depends on what non-farm data shows. Right, exactly, Fu. Exactly how I feel. From everybody, right? Everybody promises all these different things. You never get any of them, you know? People root for their person like it's their football team, and like I just don't care about any of that stuff. I really genuinely don't. People think I'm not talking about politics because I'm on YouTube or whatever. I'm not talking about it because I don't care about any of that stuff, right? Like, and I guess it's really easy to not care when you're pretty, like, middle ground, you know? Yeah, I mean, non-farm data, people are going to pay attention to it. All right, guys. We got 300 people here. We still got almost 40 minutes left. Again, I think the Tesla delivery numbers are going to be a little bit larger, bigger of an influence, I would say. Do we ever get farm data? We do, but it's probably not that important for economics. I mean, we get... Yeah, I don't know. Alright, guys, so we do have the Supermicro semiconductor chart moving up. Would you say sell the news or run up? I don't know. Dumb question. If I sell a stock, do I have to wait 30 or 35 days to buy again? Probably not. It depends, but probably not. Hey, I appreciate the donation, though, Jeffrey. Thank you, man. I'm asking AI that question, Jeffrey. I'm going to see what it says. It says, while non-farm data is widely reported, specific farm employment data is also available, but tends to be less emphasized and relevant in monthly employment reports. So, like, we do get stuff like some stuff on farm workers through the current population survey, quarterly census of employment and wages, Bureau of Labor Statistics includes some farm labor, but it's just less specific, more based on agricultural stuff and just not necessarily relevant for stocks in the economy. You need to wait T1. Well, that's not necessarily true, you know. So like the T1 rule is only for cash accounts, right? So what the T rule stands for, guys, and a lot of people don't understand this, is the T1 rule stands for how long your bank or stock brokerage really has to clear your funds, right? And so they have to wait. It stands for transaction plus 1 day, right? So if you have a cash account, specifically, it's only for cash accounts, right? If you have a margin account, which I would say is most people in stocks, right? Most people buying and selling stocks are using a margin account to do it. Even if they're not specifically using margin, they're still usually using a margin account. And again, the reason for this is because, you know, you have to wait. With a cash account specifically, you have the T1 rule. It used to be the T3 rule, believe it or not. So you used to have to wait for the transaction plus 3 days to get your money back. Now it's only 1 day. They've kind of moved it up. But it's only cash accounts. If you have a margin account, you get instant settlement. You can buy or sell however much you want, depending on depending on your account. Now, you can't day trade more than 3 times a week in a margin account with less than 25K. And so, you know. Yeah. All right, guys. Again, Tesla 257s. Yeah, again, strong. So that's mostly accurate, but the only thing you're missing is that it needs to be a cash account. If it's a cash account, you have to follow the T1 rule. If it's a margin account, you can completely ignore the T1 rule and all that stuff. Like, you still have the PDT rule if you got less than 25K, but yeah, in a cash account, you just got to wait for funds to settle. Meta's looking strong, is it really? Yeah, Meta up to 577. All right, guys. Super Micro back to $40, but man, Super Micro is getting pretty weak. Yeah, so a lot of people, myself included, when I started out with day trade, Frostbite says, I became a pattern day trader on Robinhood, so I needed to get into a cash account. I love it, to be honest. Good for options. Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons, right? Like when you're trying to day trade, you know, if you want to day trade like stocks, there's a couple things. Number one, it's one of the reasons I like funded account programs in the futures market specifically are so useful, because if you try to day trade stocks, you got a lot of red tape. Specifically, if you want to day trade, you need at least 25 grand if you have a margin account. And what a margin account specifically means is instant settlement. Means if I buy 1,000 shares of a $1 stock and spend $1,000 on that trade, once I click sell, that $1,000 is immediately credited back into my account. That's what a margin account does. Even if you have no extra money, you're not using leverage or anything like that. A margin account, it doesn't really have to do with leverage. A margin account means they will immediately credit you that money back into your account. But with a margin account, if you have a margin account, you can only day trade 3 times per rolling 5-day period. So you can't day trade more than 3 times a week with a margin account of less than 25 grand. If you have over 25 grand in a margin account, you can essentially day trade as much as you want, and you get instant settlement. Now, if you have a cash account, which means it's not a margin account, you do not get instant settlement. So if you spend 1,000 shares of a $1 stock and you spend $1,000, you do not get that $1,000. When you click sell, you do not get that $1,000 credited back to your account immediately. You have to wait the transaction plus 1 day. So you have to wait a day to get that $1,000 credited back into your account. And so you can probably day trade, depending on what you're day trading. If you're day trading terrible penny stocks, then you might be able to get some more trades in than just 3 day trades a week. Either way, it's going to be kind of hard to get a lot of day trades in if you got less than 25 grand, unfortunately. And it's one of the reasons the futures market makes so much sense, is because in the futures market, you can day trade as much as you want. You get instant settlement. You can use margin accounts. There's no PDT rule. And you could day trade over and over and over again until your heart's content in the futures market. It's one of the reasons I kind of gravitated towards there. I mean, obviously, most of this year I've had over 100 grand in my account liquid. And so I don't really need, none of this is relevant to me per se, but it's still good for new traders at home to understand, And again, if you want to try out futures, you could try out Top Step. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased, of course, but if you want to check them out, understand all these rules. Definitely top 3 worst trader ever in the world, they say. Not an investment professional. I do trade off stream. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, but these funded account programs like Top Step are really useful because it just limits people's risk. Right? The subscription is $49. If you pass their test, you get 50K funding, 90% split. If you lose, you're out $49. It's not the end of the world. And I lost 4 grand when I first got started, but that's a different story. We're going to get ready for non-farm employment coming out in about 30 minutes. Yeah, a lot of people talking about Humana today. Are they down big? Nvidia. Yeah, Humana's dumping here. Let me see if I can find some news. Deutsche is supervisory board approves the sale of another company. Eli Lilly announced $4.5 billion site, the Lilly Medicine Foundry. All right, mortgage rates showed up today. They came in at 6.14%. So mortgages actually shot up a little bit. Not a very small amount. Hey, all good, Frost. It's all good, man. How can I get a second account? A second account in what? Yeah, I'm trying to look up the Humana news here, chat. Give me a second. Alright, so they are sinking on Medicare Advantage troubles. Humana shares dropped today amid mounting worries from the company's Medicare Advantage programs. Shares of the managed care company tumbled this morning. They acknowledged in a securities filing that the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services had cut the quality rating of its largest Medicare Advantage plan, which accounts for 45% of the company's Advantage members. So yeah, any drop in star ratings will have headwinds in the company's 2026 earnings recovery. Basically, bad news for Humana, and they've been downtrending really since 2022. Sorry, we're trying to check something. Okay, good. So the power came back on. Good. All right. Well, that's good, I guess. Yeah. All right, baby. Your hair looks good. I like it. Yeah, it looks good. No, it looks good. You look pretty. Yeah.
I know, but does it look a little bit?
Yeah, it looks different.
It does?
Yeah.
What about my skin? Does my skin look like?
Here, it's not muted.
Oh.
Yeah. Your skin looks good though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Carol wore a mask yesterday. I called her Phantom of the Opera for
It's called a glass. It's a glass mask.
a glass mask.
It's a Korean glass facial.
A Korean glass mask facial mask. Oh, that's cool.
I haven't looked in the mirror yet.
All right. I love you. All right, guys, we got 23 minutes left. Yeah, again, non-farm employment data coming out at 8:15 this morning. We got about 400 people here. We'll see what this looks like. All right, so I'm back. Hey, what's up, Ed? Hey, what's up, Tiny? Yeah, so I'm looking at it. Humana stocks. That's cool. Look at Young Pond. Got the 90s fit. I could see it. I remember those fits, those outfits. Oh, rest in peace to your dad, man. Oh no, it's horrible, man. It's terrible, Pond. I'm reading. Sorry to hear about that, man. All right. Ugh. Yeah, I do well on IQ tests. I don't typically do. I'm not going to say what I get because I feel like it's too easy for people to get kind of weird with me about it. But every time I've taken an IQ test, which has been a couple, like 2 times in my life, I've scored very well on them. My son did well too. I've told the story before. My son did an IQ test when he was like, he must have been like 6 or 7. You know, when we were worried about autism, to be honest. So we got him tested, and he ended up just having ADHD and like some other stuff. But he scored super high on his IQ test, which is good. And I think sometimes there's a correlation in terms of like social skills versus intelligence. There's a negative correlation, I would say, sometimes versus with social skills and intelligence. Like if you're really smart, sometimes you lack social skills and vice versa. Yeah, no, I did. The last one I did was TD. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, port strikes are going to be. That's what I think. I think most of the drama yesterday was from the port strikes. Port strikes started yesterday, and I think that's probably what's driving all this. Is just the port strikes and stuff. Like the port strikes are causing fear, pessimism in markets. I guess, you know. All right, chat. So again, look at the SPY come back down to the bottom of the range here. Gotta edit my. All right, chat. Yes, I'm reading. I'm looking at Tesla at 257. So that's 8 a.m. So we still have 15 minutes before things drop. I'm looking at the top drops in pre-market this morning. TTF, Pharmaceuticals, down 10%. Leafly Holdings, LFLY symbol, down 13%. KAPA stock down 6%. Humana's getting kind of weak again on bad like plan issues that they're going through right now. John, any advice on taking profits and locking in gains? Talked to some people that were up 60 to 7% and now down 40% or so on their plays. That generally stems from gambling. Now, it depends on what kind of trade. Day trades can go against you faster, right? But if you're talking about longer term plays where they were up 60 and 70%, and instead of taking profit, they just kind of sat on it and let it turn all the way back around on them, then that's their own fault, and you just want to learn from those mistakes, right? Like anytime you're up a big percentage in anything, right? And 60-70% is certainly what I would call a big percentage. Anytime you're up that big in anything, and the way I trade, not an investment professional, I'm not liable if you lose. I have no idea what you should do in markets. But anytime I'm up that much, I'm generally taking at least a big chunk of profit from that trade. I'm going to lock in some profit, and then what I'll do is if I'm up big in something, I will take 2/3 of the position off, lock that profit in. That way, if it turns on me, then I'm still green on the trade. Like I might give back some of the profit, but it's certainly not going to be all of it, and I can let the rest work. And if it goes in my favor some more, if I have FOMO, like if I have fear of missing out, then I'm still holding a piece of it and I can profit from that, but I'm still protected. The people who refuse to take profit in anything and just kind of let their trades go, it depends on the time frame. Like if you're investing in something, it's a different thing. Like if you're investing in something, even if you're up like a good percentage, if you believe in it long term, the goal is just to sit on those shares and never take profit. But if we're talking about like a swing trade or like a short-term investment or something like that, if you're up 60-70%, you got to take some off. If I'm investing, I'll take some off and then add back on pullbacks and stuff like that. But everybody's different. If you're talking about day trading, scaling in and out's the move, I think. I'm going to be probably trading the NASDAQ. Yeah, we're going to probably be trading NASDAQ. We'll probably be trading the E-mini. Yeah, you might be a little bit behind the stream, Faye. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up. Yeah, for sure. No PDT rolling top step. You can day trade, short, all that stuff. Yeah, if you're up 500% on anything, you should be taking some profit off. But again, I think it stems from gambling. I think it stems from unreasonable expectations. Like 500% is a crazy percentage to be up. If you're up 500%, you should be taking profit. 70-80% is a crazy percentage. Like if you're up that much, you probably should be taking profit. If you talk yourself into not doing it, especially if it's like a really speculative play, it stems from like a gambler's mentality. You ever seen gamblers where they make so much money at the table and they refuse to walk away, and instead they sit there and they just give it back over time? Like those are the same type of people that'll be up ridiculously large percentages and then just refuse to take profit. And then instead, if you got a 10% chance it keeps going up, they'll risk everything for it. And again, I don't like, I know the GameStop movement encourages diamond hands and like all this stuff, but do you know how rare a move like GameStop is in stocks? It's so freaking rare. Like the likelihood that whatever dumb stock you're holding is going to do that is so freaking low that honestly, I think the whole GameStop thing with diamond hands honestly, fearing the market is healthy. Fearing the market turning against you is healthy. Like having diamond hands on a terrible penny stock that is almost certainly going to fail long term is stupid. Having diamond hands on a mid cap stock is probably not smart. Like you could have diamond hands on a blue chip like Apple if you want to invest in it long term. And in theory, when you invest in something, you should never sell it. I'm not saying you never sell it. Don't listen to me. Okay. What I mean is that if you're investing long term in blue chip healthy companies that you believe in theory, you should hold those forever and then pass them on to your kids. And that's how you build generational wealth with stocks, because a lot of these stocks are going to go up 50x, over time or more. And so that's how you build generational wealth. But you got to, and it's one of the reasons most people can't do it is because they don't have the discipline to just let it sit through the swings. But if you look at like Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, whatever you want to look at, right? You put up a long-term chart. Look at the difference. So this thing was at a post-split price of 6 cents. It wasn't actually 6 cents. I think it IPO'd at like $15, right? So it was never a penny stock in that regard, even though people will try to act like it was, so they could justify buying terrible low float crap penny stocks and hope one day it'll be the next Apple, even though Apple, again, was never a penny stock, but that's a different game. But yeah, just to put this into perspective, right? So how much has this gone up? Like in terms of times value, 226. We'll call it 237 at the peak, right? 237 divided by 0.06. This has gone up 4,000x. 4,000x versus where it was in the 80s. 4,000 times its price. You know? So like let's use that right now in the same like generation, if we're looking at a generation of stocks, right? 4,000x. So let's say you have a stock that's currently worth $50. That should be $200,000 that you'll gain from it. That's how you grow generational wealth, but you have to never sell it. You have to never sell it. And that's what you do. You never sell it. Now you can take money. You can take, like, some ways you can get loans on holdings that you have too, and a lot of cool stuff like that. But yeah. You could do the same thing with Microsoft, with Amazon, with whatever you want. And so if you're investing like that, in theory, you should never sell. And so it doesn't really matter if it turns around on you, because in theory, you should never sell. But if you're swing trading something, if you're holding something for a few weeks, holding something for a couple months, holding something for a day, and you're up that big of a percentage, you should take profit. All right, guys, we got 7 minutes left before the non-farm employment change. 7 minutes left. 7 minutes left. We have the ADP non-farm employment change. It's expected at 128,000. This is the prelim payroll numbers that drops every Wednesday before non-farm payroll. So every Wednesday before non-farm payrolls, you get what's called the non-farm employment change. It's prelim payroll data. It drops in 7.5 minutes. Again, we did have the NBA 30-year mortgage rate come out a little bit higher than expected at 6.14%. And so again, I'm expecting this. This is expected anywhere between 124 and 128. Remember, last time it showed up low at 99K. So yeah. No one here can move the market. Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of people don't understand. Like, listen, I got 600 people here, and that's great and all. But me and 600 people ain't about to move the market. You know, not unless we're talking about like low float penny stocks, and some of those gurus do that, right? They'll front load into a crappy penny stock, they pump it up, they'll talk about how great it is to their following, to thousands and thousands of people. Their following buys it up because they're big dumb followers, and they end up pumping the stock up because it's got such a small float. And then said guru ends up unloading shares, causing the stock to basically crash on all the people that bought it. And they make 20 or 30 grand from it, and then they take a picture of their profit and say, look, I just made 20 or 30 grand day trading penny stocks, guys. Buy my day trading course now, right? 100% that happens. But back to the point, if something's got a large float, if something's got 100 million plus in the float, we could all buy it at once. We ain't moving it. You know, it's not going to move. Like, some people got mad one time because they said I was manipulating Apple shares. It's like, bro, Apple has billions of shares in the float. We could literally all buy 5,000 shares of Apple simultaneously, and it's not going to move Apple. You know, like, there's a difference. Like, that's one of the reasons penny stocks are so volatile, is because people can move them and manipulate them. People can't do that with Apple, not unless you're a big whale moving millions or billions of dollars in shares, you know. What are your thoughts on a recession? I don't know. It depends, you know. I think it's an election year, and so it's an election year, and so people are acting like it's the worst it could ever be right now. And some sides are acting like it's the greatest it could ever be, right? The truth is somewhere in the middle usually, you know. All right, chat. We got 4 minutes left here, chat. 4 minutes left. Let's see. Got almost 700 people live. Let's see what we get here. All right, Chad. So again, here we go. Get ready. We got the non-farm employment data coming out in 2.5 minutes, Chad. 2.5 minutes. I'm gonna throw this bad boy in sub-only mode. Y'all hit that subscribe button, Chad. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Do you think Bitcoin will test lows? I don't know. It depends on what you call lows. Lifetime lows, which I guess would be 0. No. Well, yeah, there's always outliers. NASCAR. I mean, some whales might be actually watching me, but most of them aren't, you know. They're probably not watching beginner trading though, you know, not unless they just got a whole bunch of money and they don't know what to do with it and they've never invested before. All right, guys, we got a minute and a half. All right, guys, SPY up to 567s. Again, NVIDIA up to 116.50s. Apple at 226. All right, guys, we got 1 minute left. Of course, they still make Twinkies. How dare you attack my channel like that, Slap? It hurts, man. It hurts deep inside. No, it's alright. I'm just messing with you. No, objectively, big whales are probably not watching my YouTube channel called Beginner Trading. Not unless they're brand new and they don't know what to do. I've had some actually relatively large finance people watch my channel that have actually reached out to me, but it's not they're not watching it for the content. They're watching it for sponsorships potentially. Anyways, we got 30 seconds here. 30 seconds. A little bit less than that, about 15 seconds. Really about 20 seconds. This is a little bit early. So we actually have about 15 seconds left right now. 15 seconds. Again, expected at 124 to 128. Let's see what we get. All right, guys, here we go. Let's do this. Again, it's expected at 124 to 128. And here's the report. 143, higher than expected. 143 versus 124 expected, higher prelim non-farm data than expected. 143. 143. We cover this faster than everybody. I hope you guys understand. We cover this faster than everybody else. You're welcome, chat. You're welcome. 143 higher than expected. The 124 is what was expected. We showed up at 120 or at 143 higher than expected. Chat. Check it out. Again, 143 versus 120 expected. Tesla numbers are coming out right around 9 a.m. Right around 9 a.m. Right around a little bit before the open is when they came out last time. But yeah, prelim non-farm data just showed up at 143 versus 120 expected. Yeah, that's why I like your channel. We try, bro. Again, people try to hate. They try to act like I suck at day trading or whatever it is, right? But again, they're kind of missing the point. Usually they're just grasping at straws trying to find something to criticize. And it's because I'm so handsome, guys. Higher is bearish. Higher signals more economic growth. So that's probably why the market pushed up. So it means more economic growth. It means more job openings, right? It's the ADP non-farm employment change. It's kind of like the JOLTS report in a way. It's job openings is what this is. So this is economic growth. Yeah, stronger economy is what this signals. Again, the ADP non-farm employment change is a measure of the monthly change in non-farm private employment based on payroll data of 400,000 businesses. It's released as always the Wednesday before non-farm payroll, so it's prelim payroll data. Higher is stronger for the economy. All right, guys. Hope that makes sense. Again, if you haven't already, we're going to day trade live today. Check out Top Step. Top Step, funded account program in futures. You can day trade short. We did get funded in another account yesterday, or the day before yesterday. And again, the biggest edge on Top Step is that you can actually day trade, no PDT rule in futures. The patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks, but there's no PDT restriction. So I can day trade the S&P, basically the SPY price action. I can day trade the QQQ price action and what's called the NASDAQ futures contract. It's the same price action as the Q, and there's no PDT rule. It's the biggest edge in funding right now because you can use micro contracts and there's no commissions, right? So there's literally no commissions. There's a small amount of fees per trade. You can see I can use this 50K funded account that I have. And once I get funded, I can scale down to micro contracts. Trading regular contracts, you can lose thousands very quickly. Trading micros, I can make $25, $11, $2, $40, $15, $15, and still net profit in these trades because it's only 74 cents in fees per trades and no commissions. What Top Step does, again, they give you a demo and they test your skill on a demo account first. Limit your risk. It's only $49 a month, monthly subscription. If you pass the test, you get 50K in funding, 90% split. If you fail it, you only lose $49. It's the best of both worlds. 90% split anyway, similar to putting the money up yourself. And again, they're a sponsor and affiliate of mine. They pay me money. I am biased because they pay me money. You'd be biased too if they paid you money. Legitimately one of the best edges in funding right now, and a great way to learn how to day trade because there's no PDT rule in futures. And so if you want to check it out, here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. You can get your feet wet with something like this, and then if you make enough, you can fund your own account. And if you lose, which is going to be most people because most day traders lose, it's probably going to be less than you would lose putting the money up yourself, in all honesty. So definitely top 3 most biased in the world right now. Anyways, guys, we're going to day trade on here a little bit later. Market underwhelming reaction. We got the Tesla delivery numbers coming soon. That's the big thing today. Again, so non-farm data came out. Tesla has their big delivery numbers coming out soon. Yeah, so we got the non-farm payroll reports. All right, guys. So yeah, today we got Tesla deliveries. We're gonna update the stream based on all that stuff. The deliveries are supposed to drop at 9 a.m. I'm gonna put Tesla up on the screen here. Last time that's when they dropped was 9 a.m. We'll see if we get anything good. But yeah, here's Tesla. Tesla's had a pretty good month. You can kind of see. Here's an hourly chart. They're almost up to 260. Hit highs almost 265s. I'm sure it hurts. Yes, I'm sure the port strike hurts the market for sure. Now, how much, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, Ed, be nice. That's a little mean, bro. Be nice. Yes, please stop spamming though, bro. Like, listen, you don't have to say the same thing over and over again. I will get to it. I'm inclining to think that the higher the unemployment numbers are reported in September, the lower they will be for next month. That might be why the market is not that excited. Yeah, I think the market's down. The port strikes are influencing a lot of stuff. But yeah, the big news today is Tesla deliveries for sure. They drop around 9 a.m. Around 9 a.m. Look at the SPY push up though. A little bit of a delayed reaction, but the SPY's moving up. Nvidia right below me right here is moving up some as well. I have 2 funded accounts right now. Whoever asked me that, M&M. I have 2 funded accounts. All right. Are you guys ready? Tesla dipping a little bit this morning, like slightly red, but had a pretty good day yesterday. The whole market was weak yesterday, or not a good day. Had a weak day yesterday, but it wasn't as weak as the rest of the market. If you look at like the SPY here, you know, the SPY was very weak yesterday. Everything, the NASDAQ was very weak. We had like a brutal open. Look at these big red drops. Now we bounced back some, and Tesla specifically is back at least 50% of that. Nvidia is the one that kind of had one of the worst reactions, and this is kind of what led the market down. Nvidia dropped from over 122 all the way down to 116s where it's sitting now, almost to 117, and you can kind of see this previous closing price level on Nvidia right at 117. So again, we'll see what happens there. Again, today we have Tesla deliveries. So we do have Tesla deliveries. And then we also have ADP non-farm data. We'll kind of mix all of this on screen. There we go. We'll put a scroll up so we can have both of them. There we go. Yeah, Tesla deliveries 9 a.m. Hey, again, stick around, guys. We still have about 30 minutes left before the Tesla delivery stuff comes out. Yeah, I think it's just sympathy movement. Yeah, I'll get a timer up there for. We have 36 and a half minutes, or 35 and a half minutes. Nvidia trying to fight back. Again, SPY down on the day, but pretty much flat most of the morning. Dropped a lot yesterday. Again, payroll data is for Tesla coming out. Again, just to kind of go through this again here. Tesla is supposed to deliver third quarter delivery numbers at 9 a.m. today. Wall Street expects them to be around 461,000 globally in the third quarter. Annual delivery estimates are around 1.79 million, according to Bloomberg. The figure would be a sequential improvement from quarter 2 when they delivered 444K. It's still going to be below the 466,000 they delivered a year ago. So year over year, they're still down a little bit. Tesla stock, again, in the last month is up like 20%. Crazy gains. Optimism about the robotaxi event, and I'm worried about it being like a buy the rumor sell the news event, right? So I'm worried that like stocks are going to go up. I'm worried Tesla's going to go up and then start dropping after the event in 8 days, about a week for the event. The event's in a week and a day. A lot of people think Tesla's going to do well today though for their delivery numbers. Again, specifically, a lot of people think Tesla's going to do well. Piper Sandler analyst Alexander Potter raised his delivery estimates and now sees deliveries of 459,000 globally, 1.75 million year over year. Barclays analyst Dan Levy sees deliveries topping 470 in quarter 3, easily beating estimates. Levy and Barclays cite July data for global EV sales and China sales based on August registrations. They said, quote, "Our delivery estimate implies volume up 6% sequentially and up 8% year over year, which would be Tesla's first quarterly result in 2024 with a positive year over year growth," Levy wrote in a specific letter to clients. He said, quote, "We believe that a beat could drive further strength of the stock into the robotaxi day, serving as a reminder that at least for now, concerns on fundamentals have dissipated." Tesla bull Dan Ives also saying some stuff here, saying, quote, "Importantly, we believe price cuts are now mostly in the rearview mirror and should remove a margin overhang from the Tesla story, which has plagued the name over the past year. He said that in a letter to shareholders, or a letter to, a letter last week. He said, quote, "We believe gross margin should finally start to rebound from these levels, with quarter 3 being a big step forward." Analysts are also starting to think the model sales for the Cybertruck production numbers are climbing up a little bit. So S&P Global Mobility data showed 5,000 Cybertrucks were bought in July, with year-to-date sitting at just under 18,000 Cybertrucks sold. So numbers are increasing there too. We'll see if that benefits Tesla stock in their earnings report later on this month. We do have Tesla earnings later this month. It's a pretty big month for that stuff. So yeah, so all right, guys. So Tesla delivery numbers coming out today. Dan Ives strikes me as a tech sector. Yeah, he's permeable. Maybe. I think he's probably just believes in Tesla. I think understanding long term, like these stocks are usually going to do fine, is important. All right, yeah, guys, we're back. Sorry. All right, buddy. I love you, man. Have a good day, dude. Have a great day, man. I love you. Have a good day. Y'all have a good day, guys. Y'all doing okay? Yeah. Good morning? All right, good. All right, love y'all. All right, guys. So my kids are going off to school. Yeah, for sure. Well, I think it's going to be like a snowball effect with Tesla. Like, people have doubted Tesla for years. And again, it stems from, like, I think there's definitely some negative sentiments being pushed by big oil. I think big oil recognizes EVs a threat. And so they're going to be like, oh, EVs are going to hurt the little guy, even though big oil is big oil, right? Anyways, they're definitely going to push that EVs are bad. And maybe they're right. I don't know. They could be right. I don't freaking know. I definitely think lithium is environmentally taxing to mine, but there's no emissions that come out of these cars, and so pros and cons. And I think that in terms of environmental impact, it's pretty much flat in terms of, like, it's pretty much neutral, like it's even in terms of environmental impact. Like, Teslas don't have emissions, and so that's good, but they also are very environmentally taxing to mine. I think where EVs are going to grow is going to be efficiency overall. Better mileage, faster, more quiet, meshes better with technology, and all of these things are going to make EVs grow over time. Maybe hybrid EVs, maybe pure EVs, but this is going to make EVs in one way or another grow over time. I think I think the big future of Tesla is going to be full self-driving vehicles. I think if cars can drive themselves, people are going to see that, and then they're going to want one, and then they're going to buy one, and then people are going to see them, and then they're going to want one, and they're going to buy one. It's going to create a snowball-like effect with self-driving vehicles that is already kind of happening to a certain extent, but it's going to continue to happen and happen and happen until EVs are big. I think that's the next big leap in technology. I think it's going to happen. I think full self-driving vehicles are going to happen. I think anytime you create stuff like this, there's always speed bumps because of mostly infrastructure related problems, right? But over time that gets better. It's the same thing when, like, carriages and automobiles were driving around at the same time, and it was this weird meshing aspect of it, and so people were skeptical if they would accomplish the infrastructure for it. But eventually Efficiency led the infrastructure to be built, and over time that grew and grew and grew and grew. And I think the same thing is we're going to see the same thing for self-driving cars. You know, right? For sure. Well, the tires are both the same because you need tires for both vehicles, you know. All right, guys, Tesla deliveries, 30 minutes. Yeah, I think it's the future too. It'll just take time to build the infrastructure, 100%. It's like 8,000. 8,000 doesn't seem that much. What do you mean? Someone just tried to scam me on WhatsApp. Dude, I don't know how many people try to scam me, bro. They try to, you know. Again, like, I have a rule. I don't click anything from anybody. I don't download anything from anybody. Not on my work computer. And I just kind of avoid all of it, regardless of who it is or what it is or anything like that. I just stay away from it. It just doesn't make sense, right? I understand how people are going to try to get me. And so I just kind of avoid it if I can. You know, because some of these emails are sneaky. Like, they'll pretend to be PayPal, and then they'll send you an email, and they just want you to click on it so that they can fish for your data. And so I just don't even click any of it, you know. All right, guys. I thought non-farm payrolls was at 8:15. It was. You could read the bottom line of the text at the bottom. ADP national employment numbers, which is non-farm numbers, came in at 143 versus 120 expected. So better than expected, higher than expected. Oh, you're talking about full self-driving. So that's Tesla delivery numbers layer. So Tesla delivery numbers drop at around 9 o'clock. So that's what we're waiting on now in 25 minutes. Yeah, they just, like, a lot of the time they try to scare you and they'll act like a big purchase is going through. And they'll kind of create, like, the older people are usually the ones who fall for it the most in regards to, like, they'll be like, oh, a big transaction just went through, you better click on this link, you know. Again, it's so easy for people to catfish other people nowadays. It's sad, it's unfortunate. Again, I talk about catfish a lot because there's this YouTube channel that I watched, and I've talked about this 1,000 times. I just think it's such a hilarious story that it's hard for me not to talk about if somebody brings it up. But you got this biker lady, this old, like, 60-year-old biker lady. She thinks she's hot stuff. You know, no offense to her, but never mind. I'm going to be nice. Anyways, she leaves her man to go be in an online relationship with Johnny Depp. She's never met him or talked to him in person, but, you know, it's got to be him. It looks just like him in the picture, guys. You know, it's got to be Johnny, right? And so Johnny starts asking this lady to test her love. She needs to send him Walmart gift cards, you know, because listen, it's a love test. He's a romantic, you know. You got to test your love here with Walmart gift cards, guys. You know, I know it's Johnny Depp. He's a millionaire, you know, but, like, listen, everybody needs to test their love, right? And, like, she, even still, with the people, with the hosts of the show, they were like, look, lady, you got. Like, you got, you know, scammed here. It's obviously not Johnny Depp. She refused to believe it, you know, and so you can kind of see. The point is, that same theme catches a lot of people. It's called confirmation bias. You're more likely to believe something you want to happen or you want to be true. You know, I always use the lottery example, but you can use it with anything. And so if you want to believe it's Johnny Depp on the other end, you're more likely to ignore all the red flags, which there were multiple, you know, and believe it. People get taken very easily, you know. And mostly it's people overseas, like, because to them, like, $100 is a lot of money. So if they get $200-300 in gift cards, that's like a freaking monthly salary. And so they're loving life if they do that. So those are usually the ones that are doing it the most. But there's a very obvious tell, and it's if they say kindly. If they say kindly, probably a scammer, right? It depends on who it is, right? If they say they're from the U.S., people from the U.S. very rarely use the word kindly. Like, kindly leave your email here. Kindly, write your name here. People from the U.S. very rarely use that. They don't really use that a lot. For whatever reason, people overseas tend to use that a lot. And so if they say kindly in the message, they're not real, Or I'm not saying they're not real, but they might be trying to scam you. His helicopter needs fuel. Listen, Yeah, Sam. Well, they try. They try to get me to. Any thoughts on the announcement that Tesla's dropping the cheapest 30,000 Model 3? Is that strength or weakness? What do you mean by dropping? Okay, so Tesla discontinues cheapest Model 3 variant. Entry-level trim now starts at $42K. I think that's probably bad. But who knows, man? It might be good for their bottom line. Margin-wise, they probably just couldn't get it done in a profitable way, I think. But, $42,000 for a Model 3 is not that bad. It could be worse. Let me switch this. Alright, guys, so yeah, so just kind of working on some stuff here. Look at Nvidia pop it up, SPY pop it up, Tesla pop it up. It's at 258. Still waiting for the delivery numbers to come out. So. Reuters poll forecast 1.1 year-end euro US dollar. All right, so look at Nvidia start to rise back. So Nvidia's pumping back up. Pretty big amount here. Again, Tesla delivery numbers drop in about 20 minutes. Here, chat, 20 minutes for Tesla delivery numbers. They're moving up. We'll see if they continue. They're going. Yeah, 117.50s. All right. There we go. Yeah, look at the markets turn up here. Nvidia back up to 117s. I'm trying to see if it has any news dropping right now. We still got less than 20 minutes before Tesla delivery numbers. Again, Tesla deliveries are expected at 461,000, 461K. I'm looking at Nvidia. All right, so NVIDIA put out some news that said they are expanding their AI offering with new open source models and Unreal Engine 5 plugins. They're going to launch a new business group to scale AI adoption with 30,000 trained professionals in global AI refinery hubs in Europe, Asia, and North America. I'm going to put both of these news up. But these both dropped for NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is like moving up a lot on this news. Here's both of them right here. Again, the first one I see is that they're expanding their AI offerings with new open source models and Unreal Engine 5 plugins. The other one is Accenture and NVIDIA are going to launch new business group to scale AI adoption with 30K trained professionals in global AI refinery hubs in Europe, Asia, and North America. So that is basically what the news is that is specifically pumping up NVIDIA stock. NVIDIA stock up to 17.6. Again, the SPY back up to 568s. Tesla stock is like sympathy movement up here as well, so that's good. Tesla, one of my biggest long-term. Yeah, and again, Tesla delivery numbers dropped this morning. Look at NVIDIA, though. It's up. Again, Tesla's up. Tesla delivery numbers drop pretty soon. Around 9 a.m. is usually when they come out. What else do we have this week? I know we got jobless claims tomorrow. Is LinkedIn going out of business? I guess is the question. A lot of people ask me about LinkedIn. I'm not saying they're bad, but like... Look at them pump up here, guys. So we still got a little bit of time left. Yeah. LinkedIn is cool and all. I just don't ever use it or like have anything on there. Do I have a poll live today? I don't have a poll. Yeah, for sure, Mark, 100 or Max, 100%, dude. Let me do a poll for Tesla delivery numbers. Do Tesla deliveries come in higher or lower than the 461. Okay, expected. Higher, lower. Vote on the poll, guys. Let me know how you feel. We got 14 minutes left. Definitely top 3 poll taking YouTubers in the world right now. Yeah, Tesla moving up on, and again, Nvidia news is what's dragging the market up, I think. Right. Again, we had prelim payroll numbers come out higher than expected. It doesn't always equal good signs for the actual non-farm payroll reports. Again, today's prelim payroll numbers are just early examples of non-farm data on Friday. It doesn't mean there's going to be a correlation. Like, I guess what I mean is, like, just because prelim payroll numbers came in high today does not mean non-farm payroll numbers will come in high Friday. Unemployment's also very relevant. It's expected at 4.2%, 4.2%. So we'll see if that does anything good. But yeah. All right, we just took a little day trade here. We bought this dip. We got some pressure on the bottom here. I'm going to see if I can catch something. 2 contracts, pretty small. I just want to see if we get a bounce. After a little pullback, flat. Now we're kind of green. I'm gonna add to this 3 contracts now, see if we get a larger rebound here. There we go. And we kind of turned already back up. Took another piece off. We're about $15 now so far. All right, so yeah, we just made about 20 bucks real quick. We'll take it. You'll love to see it. Yeah, the Japanese yen carry trade might influence things. John, you don't work in corporate type geeks geek out on LinkedIn. Yeah, I know. I believe that. I believe that for sure. I think it's usually, I don't know. I know it's technically a social media. I think it's one of the worst social media platforms to use. You know. All right, so we're still, again, guys, we got 10 minutes left before Tesla deliveries. I'm trying to remember what Tesla did last time for their delivery data. I'm not sure. Bro, my feet get banked, dude. So I went to the bank, right? I was trying to buy this house, right? So I was trying to make sure a check credited. And I needed it crediting immediately. It was a freaking mess. I'm not going to say what bank it was. But I go in there. And I'm like, hey, I got this check. I need it to credit immediately. Because I'm buying a house on an X date. Right? And, you know, and it was like, it was a larger check. It wasn't like a small check. But it wasn't like crazy big either. It wasn't like 100 grand plus. It was like 30 grand. Right? So anyways, I bring this check to the bank. And I'm like, hey, I need this money to credit, you know. I was like, if not, I could just have it wired to me from the same vendor. I can have the vendor wired to me because the vendor said they would wire to me, right? And so I'm like, okay, cool. And so they say, all right, well, no, they said, oh no, we'll credit it immediately. Don't worry. And so I'm like, all right, cool. And so I deposit the check, and they say, if it doesn't credit for immediately, call us up and we'll get it to. And so I say, okay, cool. I deposit the check. It doesn't credit immediately. I immediately get a notification on my bank saying, hey, it's going to be 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get this money credited to your account. And I'm like, what? And so I call up the lady who also spent about 10 minutes pitching me their credit card information based off of my account, right? They spent 10 minutes pitching me, buy our credit cards, guys. Like sign up for our credit cards. Like pitching me on all these financial things. And so I call her up and I'm like, hey, you said it would credit immediately. It didn't. Now it says 3 weeks. And they're like, oh, well, what's the big deal? I said, the big deal is I'm closing on a property, you know. And like it just turned into this big mess that I had to deal with constantly. Wait, I'm reading something here about Humana. All right, so I'm looking at a communications report here that says Equinix disclosed a $2 billion equity distribution agreement with multiple financial institutions, allowing the company to issue and sell shares of its common stock through various methods, including ordinary broker transactions and privately negotiated deals. Media names: the European Commission has requested info from YouTube, Snapchat, and TikTok on recommender system under Digital Services Act. Now, it wasn't them, Moneymaker, but whoever it was, they did suck, but it wasn't them. Yeah, no, what I'm thinking they did, they wanted to sit on my interest a little bit longer, and they lied to me so that they could do it. We eventually got it worked out, and we closed, and it was fine, but it was a big, long mess. My issue is like, what's the big deal, she says. I'm sitting there like, what's the big deal? You lied to me so you could sit there and pitch me on your credit cards for 10 minutes. All right, guys. Yeah, Tesla deliveries. Yeah, a lot of people think Tesla deliveries are going to come in hot. And I hope so. We got 6 minutes. Again, a lot of people think Tesla deliveries are going to come in hot. Here's Q2 finance. Or here's Q2 data here. So here's delivery numbers from Yahoo Finance, right? And this is from Tesla. This is people will say, what's the big deal regarding Tesla? They act like Tesla's some super weak stock. Look at that graph in terms of deliveries. Q2 deliveries. That's a big increase, guys. This is a big move here. You know, Tesla numbers, the graph looks great. You know, the graph looks great. And I see this reflected not just in graphs, right? Because sometimes you'll see a graph and it doesn't look plausible for real life. I see it reflected where I live. You know, 5 years ago, Tesla, you see a Tesla, you'd be like, ooh, look at Tesla, because you never freaking saw it. Now I step outside, I see 5 Model 3s everywhere I go. I see multiple, you know, plaids at least every week in my area. So, and that's good for Tesla, obviously, because it means people are buying their cars. It's less of like I told people this about the Cybertruck before it came out, but the conventional appeal of a Tesla used to be it was a head turner. Like you see it, you'd be like, ooh, look at that. Now so many people drive them, nobody cares if you see a Tesla anymore, except for the Cybertruck. And the Cybertruck's so different looking, and they're so rare that a Cybertruck will definitely turn heads. You see a Cybertruck, you're saying, ooh, look, a Cybertruck. And now I don't know how long that'll last. And I know the Cybertruck is not the best margin vehicle. Like, it's not the best vehicle specifically for margins in Tesla. Like, it's not the most profitable vehicle for them to produce. And they said that a couple quarters ago. But again, we're sitting back waiting here. Waiting for Tesla delivery numbers. Yeah, I saw Rivian's the other day too. Again, nobody knows what the numbers are going to be. I still think they're ugly. My wife thought Tesla Cybertrucks were ugly too, until she saw one in person, and she completely changed her tune. I was telling her the whole time, hey, the Cybertruck's cool. It looks like a freaking Mars rover. I like it. And Carol would say, no, that's ugly, you know. And then we saw one in person, and she saw how big it was. It's like a freaking tank, and it's bulletproof, right? Then Carol completely changed her tunes and said, like, quote, that's an impressive looking vehicle, is what she said. And it really is. It's a cool vehicle. You know, it turns heads. That's what you want if you buy one. And you can probably get one for like $100K right now, $120K. And so they've gone down a little bit. When they first came out, they were like $2. Rivian trucks are cool. They're just not as head turning, but they're cool. All right, guys. Hey, we got 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Yeah. Is a Model Y the SUV, quote unquote? I say quote unquote because it doesn't look like an SUV. Yeah. It doesn't look like an SUV, but if you pull up next to an SUV, it's the same height. Close to the same height. Yeah, I'm on the Tesla site. I'm waiting for the delivery numbers. Waiting for the delivery numbers. The last one came out here. Yeah, so again, we're on the site. We're waiting. The last production delivery numbers came out here. I'm trying to see how big this is. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Waiting for this to update here. It's supposed to update around 9 o'clock. Production and delivery numbers should be right there. So we're waiting here, guys. We're waiting. Stick around. We got 2.5 minutes left until 9. We'll see if it releases right at 9. The people who hate the Cybertruck are devout country boys who want the 30th year of the Silverado. That looks exactly like last year's. Yeah. Yeah, they're a lot of the time they're just working oil. They're oil people, and you know. We're always gonna need lubricants. Like we're always gonna need lubricants to a certain extent. But I don't know. And either way, I still think we got years and years out. We got a lot of time. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, chat. I appreciate it. We are growing. We're at 147,000, chat. 147K. Moving on up towards 150,000, chat. We're getting there. Hit the subscribe button, help me get there. All right. We'll hit 150K before the end of the year. That's great. Where do you think the EV chargers source the power? From the electric grid, of course. I understand that. You know, what I'm saying is that mining oil is more environmentally taxing. You know, and again, I get it. You're gonna say, okay, well, oil powers the electrical grid to a certain extent, and I understand the correlation there too. But you know, anyways, data's about to drop. At least the data should theoretically be about to drop in 5 seconds. I'll close this down. Really, we got about 20 seconds left, so this timer's a little bit early. All right, guys, 15 seconds. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, here's Tesla on the right, chat. Tesla on the right. Let's see what it does. 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and there's the delivery numbers. Nothing out yet. Nothing out yet. Watch Tesla stock. It should move when the data updates. We're refreshing it here. Nothing. 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 We're waiting, guys. They're still not out yet. Tesla stock hasn't moved, so you know they're not out yet. They should be dropping sometime before the opening bell. Yeah, they're usually late for sure. All right, there's Tesla dropping. Wow, look, they're out right now. Wow, look at this. Crazy drop. The Tesla delivery numbers showed. All right, so now they're retracing back up. We're trying to pull it up and use AI to interpret it, chat. Yeah, at least we got a big reaction to it. Now, maybe this is them saying goodbye to the Model 3, but I don't see the data showing up yet. Yeah, why is it down? Does anybody see the data? I don't see it showing up on the page. It's not on the page yet, so maybe somebody got the data early, but usually it's going to be Q3. It's not there yet. Yeah, so we're waiting for the numbers to show. People are waiting. A lot of people think they're going to come in over 470. They're not out yet. I'm not sure why they're dropping so much all of a sudden. But we're tuning into them. They're just not out yet. You know, and I'm looking at the news here too. I don't see anything. All right, so Tesla delivered 463,000 cars in Q3, missing analyst estimates of 464,000. So they're out. Again, Tesla delivered 463,000, just under that at 462.89 thousand in Q3, missing analyst estimates. I think they did. I saw analyst estimates at 461, so I don't know why people are saying they missed. Look, I'll put this number up on screen. But I don't know why they're saying they missed. Look, I'll put this up on the bottom. But again, for whatever reason, it's not showing up on the site. But again, Q3, 463, they expected. I was showing they expected 461, so they must have updated it. I don't know why they're saying it missed. I mean, it's down a little bit, yes, but I think the problem is that you had some analysts say, oh, we think they're going to break 470s, right? When really that wasn't the expectation. I was showing the expectation this whole time was 461, believe it or not. You know, so like 461, this is better than the 461 expected. You know, if it wasn't for whomever it was, let me see. If it wasn't for freaking, who said it? I'm trying to figure out who said it. Barclays, Dan Levy, said he sees deliveries topping 470. He's really the only guy. Everybody else, Piper Sandler raised his delivery estimates and saw them at 459, right? So this was better than the 459 expected. So I didn't see anybody really thinking they would go over 470 except for one guy, and everybody else had them under what we showed. So this is better than expected for a lot of them, which is weird, you know. It's very strange, but hey. Yeah, here's the delivery date. If you want to see the actual page here, third quarter we produced 470,000, delivered 463, deployed 6.9 gigawatts per hour of energy storage. Tesla will post its financial results October 23rd. Yeah, so again, I don't think this was that bad for Tesla. You know, people are acting like this is horrible, but it was better than most people expected, I think. Yeah, year over year it is down. That's probably what's influencing it. But again, people acting like it missed big. I think this might be a little overreaction short term. Again, if you haven't already, check out my sponsor, Top Step. Top Step gives you a demo. Test your skill with a demo account in futures. There's no PDT in futures. You get instant settlement. You could day trade the S&P, basically the SPY, basically the QQQ price action in the NASDAQ. No PDT rule. They give you a demo if you make $3K in profit without losing $2K first on a $50K demo. They fund you $50K with a 90% split. Most day traders lose money, so if you fail it, you're only out $49. It limits your risk when you're learning how to day trade. Or if you're good enough to pass it, you can then build up profit with 90% split and withdraw and then fund your own account. No PDT in futures. Top Step, again, the biggest edge in funding right now because there's zero commissions. I can literally day trade with micro contracts, very small, very safe. Make $10, $25 net profit there. Build up profits with 74 cents in fees per trade. It's the biggest edge in funding right now, in my opinion. And if you want to check it out, the futures market, you can day trade short, buy market, sell market, very similar to day trading stocks. A lot of Forex traders should be trading futures. You could day trade gold. some currencies, you know, the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, you know, a lot of people should be trying it. They pay out over $40 million in the last few years to their traders. They fund thousands of traders. Check them out. They are a sponsor of mine. They pay me money. I am biased because of it. They pay me money. Definitely one of the top 3 most biased traders in the world. I'm not even claiming to be a good trader. Maybe I suck. Definitely not a professional trader. Definitely don't live off my trading profit either. Not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. I do trade off stream. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. Anyways, back to Tesla. If you want to check them out, here is the link in chat right there. Just scroll up. Tesla down. Part of me wants to buy this dip. Again, the delivery numbers showed up, I guess, underwhelming versus what a lot of people expected. But I showed the expected number anywhere between 461 and 463. And so we actually came in better than expected for most platforms, what they had for expectations. So it's strange that we're dropping this much, but I think somebody else mentioned it in chat. This means that we're actually down year over year in terms of deliveries, right? And I think that was a metric a lot of people were looking at to gauge buys or sells, is the year over year strength. And this means it was weak year over year. It came in lower than it did the same time period last year. So what do you guys think? Yeah, we're going to stream the Robotaxi event for sure. Yeah, for sure, Mr. Rob. Yeah, I think, again, who said it? It was like, who said it? It was Dan LeVay. Dan Levy sees deliveries topping 470 in the quarter 3. So, could have been worse. You know, could have been worse. Pawn saying a lot of other EV companies were showing record delivery, so many were expecting Tesla to just kind of blow it out the water. And so when they showed up a little bit under 470, you know. The Robotaxi event's interesting because it shows up. The Robotaxi event shows up on the October 10th, but it comes in at night. Like, it's at night. Let me see if they have the Robotaxi event scheduled. I think it's called what? You Robot or something like that. What's it called? We Robot. Yeah. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it scheduled on the actual Tesla website, though. Yeah, so the problem is that it starts at like 6 a.m., you know. I'm going to buy this dip in futures. We got 2 contracts here. We're in micro contracts. We already made about 20 bucks. So we're going to see if we get a little rebound here. Tesla's looking weak, kind of coming down a little bit. We'll add one more, 3 contracts, get in a little larger position early this morning. All right, we're going to have to cut it pretty soon. I wanted to let it work to see if it retraced back up. It's starting to a little bit. All right, we just took a little piece off one contract here. See if it bounces on the rest. We're still slightly green on the day, believe it or not, but again, I think Tesla could rebound back up. That's the reason I'm buying this dip. Here's Tesla on the right. We're trading futures, but we're basing it off of like the macro markets since we're trading the NASDAQ 100. And so I want to give this time to bounce back. I think I could have held a little bit more, but that's all right. Now we're actually down a little bit on the day, depending on if it bounces back or not. There we go. Yeah, so we get Tesla. Okay, now we're actually green here on the rest. See if we can hold up there. There we go. We just profited a little bit. I'm gonna add back to this, see if we can catch that bounce again. Okay, we took some profit there. Yeah, so we did get that big bounce back in Tesla, so we were actually correct there. Flat on the rest of this. We're trying to wait to see what we get now. Yeah, so we did get that little bounce. Let me see. So I'm going to put this up on screen. We did get... Wait, where's my stream? There it is. We'll kind of fix this up a little bit. Looking down for a minute. I'm going to add to this. We're trying to get into some good trades. Market's already down a lot. I think the extension on the upside, or on the downside, so we might maybe move up some, but who knows. Back up. We're definitely kind of like, I wouldn't say we're trading against the trend because I think the trend's kind of neutral, but we got a little shot here. Taking too long. Tesla's starting to turn back down. It's at 249s and it's up a lot already. I'm gonna cut this. I don't like this movement here, even if it ends up rebounding. Maybe I was right the whole time. We'll see if it bounces back. But I don't like Tesla turning back down. It might drag this back down, even though Nvidia was doing well today. Yeah, there's a big breakdown, so it looks like I avoided that. That's good. Yeah, I think people are just a little disappointed in Tesla's numbers, even though they came in better than expected from what I'm showing here. I'll put the SPY up. Put Tesla up. Ah, there's the big bounce back. See, man, I'm right about a lot of these positions. I just get stuck. We also have some of the Fed members speaking right now, but look at that bounce back. We missed it. Oh, look at that. I was absolutely correct about it, too. Look at that big bounce back, too. You don't love to see it. All right, so we're gonna get rid of some of these other things that are out. Payrolls. We got the Tesla delivery things. Forgive me, the typing noise is gonna bother you. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second. There we go. All right, we're back. We're gonna try to buy this up again, but it's kind of risky. We'll add to it 3 contracts. We're trying to scale up our size in this funded account. We have another one that we can like, that can kind of be our crutch since we have multiple funded accounts. So we're trying to scale up using micro contracts. We'll see if it goes away. There's 4 contracts. We got 13 minutes until the opening bell. 13 minutes. We're kind of flat today before this trade, so now it looks like we're down 50 bucks. Now we're down less. We're kind of right back. Ford retail sales came in at 4% plus in Q3. U.S. sales came in at 504,000. EV sales came in at 24,000 for Ford. So Ford's doing okay. Yeah, maybe the bloodbath continues. I don't know. We're at the bottom of the range. I usually like buying these dips, but yesterday we just kept on dipping for sure. Nvidia's right at the 200 EMA and the VWAP level though, so we're like right here around levels. That's usually a pretty big bounce level. That's kind of what we're betting on. Okay, we're kind of flat now. I don't know if I like that anymore, but that's a big move back up. Now we're basically flat. Well, that resistance held and then retrace back up. I don't like this right here at all. Yeah, a lot of it's based off of Nvidia. Like if Nvidia can hold its gains and bounce at the 200 EMA, then we're doing better. Tesla's still cracking lows though, unfortunately. I'm gonna take a piece of this off. We just took 1 contract off here. The reason I'm taking it off is because Tesla looks like it's continuing to break lows. So I'd rather lock in like a small amount and then live to fight at the open versus get stuck in like a big loss here. All right, so there's Nvidia starting to bounce back up though. The problem is that the previous closing price is above us, and it's got to get over that, I think, to retrace. So there we go. But Nvidia is kind of leading the market. We'll see if Tesla follows suit. We're really getting kind of flat action, but look, Nvidia is running into that previous closing price up there. Storage business down. Ford also had retail sales again, like I said, come in. Where's crypto at? Bitcoin back at 60K. I wouldn't call that getting wrecked. I think Bitcoin has been in a lot worse spots over the past year. You know, Bitcoin dipped all the way down to 50,000 in August. So, I mean, it could be worse, I think, right? Very slow market. I don't know if the opening bell is going to give us anything, but Nvidia seems to be moving up. We got 7 minutes left. 7 minutes left. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this soon. I'm trying to take longer term trades now that I'm actually funded with small size, but this is taking a little bit too long. That looks better. Nice, so there's the big bounce back up. And I see Nvidia. The problem is that we're just really not moving that much. I'm a professional gambler. I mean, you could mean there could be a couple people say they're a professional gambler. They could mean a couple different things, right? They could mean they're trading, right? Because some people refer to trading as that. They could also mean that they sell out sleazy stock picks, you know. And again, there's so much variance that happens with, like, if you're actually good at sports betting, your platform will boot you out with the quickness, right? They're not going to let you stick around and make money. The likelihood that you're actually beating the bookmakers is so freaking low because they have mathematicians creating those odds. Like, they have math wizards creating those odds. And so the likelihood that you're actually beating them is very, very, very low. And so the only people that are really good enough to do it pretty quickly get kicked off the platform, right? Like, they get a letter saying, we don't want your action, basically, right? But that's a very, very, very small percentage of people. Almost nobody's like that. Yeah, we're just going to have to get out of this. We waited. We waited. We tried. And so most people do not make money sports betting. Everybody wants to believe they can because, I mean, it's a dream job. Oh, you watch sports and get paid for it? Of course, everybody wants that job. But most people just kind of lie to people and act like they have some big edge, and then they sell out picks for sports betting. Super sleazy market. Almost all of them are losing money. The people selling the sports betting picks are losing money most of the time too. And again, I'm not saying that's all of them, but it's just a large majority of people in those markets. So there's no pre-market in futures. I'm just trading futures. Yeah, we got 5 minutes. I'm just going to have to slow it down. We'll maybe make some money back after the open. What kind of cards? It depends on what kind of cards. Poker's a different story, right? But even I'm a poker player myself, so I love freaking poker. Poker's my favorite game ever. It's what got me involved with the stock market was poker. But again, with that said, I understand that as too. I understand that as well. And again, that's more believable. Being a pro poker player, that's more believable. Because poker, there is a legitimate edge. It's very similar to day trading stocks. Now, there's variance. You're gonna have to get a lot of reps in. You're always gonna have variance. But with that said, you could still make money doing it. Yeah, I just hear so many people talking about sports betting and like, you know, I see a lot of people I grew up with that all of a sudden have these bet picking services, you know, and it's like they're just struggling. They don't have much else that going for them. And so they're opening up these sports betting pick services and like struggling and like acting like there's some guru wizard sports betting. No, I don't know how long I've been muted for, but we just unmuted it. Yeah, we also have this built up. Let me pull this out. We've got this challenge account that we're going to work on today, too. I'm going to work on this closer to the open. We're going to trade regular contracts. Neo reports record high quarterly deliveries for Neo. So Neo ended up posting 21,181 vehicle deliveries. They're popping up a little bit. Record highs for the third quarter. 61,855 vehicles, up 12% from previous years. Yeah, I'm better at swing trading than I am day trading for sure. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna delete that comment just because I can't verify who he is. Yeah, but you might be telling the truth again. I don't know. I think there's people that can do it, but I think it's so freaking low. All right, 5 seconds, chat. 5 seconds. All right, there's the bell. All right, we're gonna let the opening bell play out. Tesla's starting to rebound back up. Nvidia's still struggling, but it's up a little bit. Yeah, we're waiting for the opening bell to play out first. I'm gonna wait until at least 5 minutes after the open. How you guys doing today? Have y'all made money trading today? We're down a little bit to lead the open. Could be worse. We'll try to get some better trades in there. I'm trying to wait for the first, like, at least 4 or 5 minutes to pass before I start scaling up. Yeah, the strikes are definitely causing a lot of red action. Although I do think we're kind of somewhat extended to the downside now, and so that's kind of what I'm waiting for is some momentum back up, at least. I'm going to end this poll and just ask people, are you red or green over the last 2 days? Alright, chat. Alright, so we just made 75. Again, we're going to try to get funded in another account. If we do, this will be our third account. Tesla moving back up, but it's at the volume weighted average price. Look at Nvidia shoot. Alright, so we're in here. I just made another $50. We got about $125 in profit right now. Alright, so I was about to buy it and we just got the big retracement back up, so I just gotta kind of chill now, I think. Yeah, we're gonna see if we get a pop up. Again, so far so good, but markets are kind of choppy. Definitely getting some more red action. This would be the second red day in a row. Market's definitely turning red now. Look at that big red candle here. I'm gonna buy the bottom of this range. Even though it's kind of risky for me, but I'm already up $125, so I can buy the bottom of this range and see if we get like a big retracement. It's kind of the last thing that people expect, and so sometimes we can get like a squeeze, if that makes sense, in the same way. Oof, and maybe I'm just wrong here. Let's see. Well, back up. I don't know what to do here. I mean, we're in this. We keep retracing back up to that level. Like, a lot of people are buying that dip. I'm gonna cut it. Somehow we made money there. But man, definitely some choppy volatility here. We're gonna short this now. All right, so we are up about you know, about 250 right now. Pretty good accuracy here. Please stop spamming the same thing over and over again. Again, if it's some sketchy penny stock. Yeah, it looks horrible. Low float, no liquidity, no volume. Recent IPO, but I don't know anything about it. Looks kind of sketchy. Bunch of red action coming in again today, unfortunately. I'm watching everything else. I want to see what Nvidia does here. It kind of keeps going back and forth, but very difficult few days to trade, in all honesty. Oh, my bad, guys. I've been talking here. I think I used the wrong off. But we ended up getting $200 net on that trade. We just got some bad fills. Like, we lost about 2 something, and then we ended up making 330 plus 170. So we ended up making money, but we ended up losing about 310 here plus 330 plus 170. So about $200 net in that trade. So today as a whole, we're up about 500 here. I don't know if the market's just non-farm payroll data, which is possible. We're going to take a position here. And again, we got to swing into the profit we have. 2 contracts. It's going. Market just keeps going down, like keeps beating me up on the downside. I keep going long, so it's my mistake for sure. But again, luckily here we're still flat on the day, even if we lose this. So we're kind of taking our risks now because we can. But I guess the question I just have is how much is the market going to go down? You know, I'm gonna have to cut it pretty soon. No, now we're right back up a little bit, but who knows if it'll hold. Might be a trap. Looks like a trap. Tesla's down too. I guess the music's fitting. No. All right. You think the market's going to be choppy ahead of the payroll numbers? Yeah, a lot of people saying October is going to be volatile. Yeah. To cut this, or I guess at this point in time we've down so much that I think we got to just kind of risk it. This is a $50 challenge account, by the way, guys. So like, if we lose, it's not the end of the world. Like, I'm okay with losing it, but we're almost there to where we're eliminated. We're about to be. Yep. Man, dude, just so much red action the last 2 days. I wasn't ready for it. I really wasn't, you know. I'm okay with losing. Like, I'm going to go back to my actual account here. But, man, dude. Just getting beat up the last 2 days trying to get funded. We usually do okay buying the dip. But, like, man, the last 2 days, the dip just keeps on dipping. You know, Nvidia's turning all the way back down. I would assume that we were going to get some upward action today too, but again, luckily this is kept on just the challenge account. Yeah. Nvidia's not really crashing, but it's definitely had a couple of red. It's definitely had a couple red days. I mean, Nvidia, like, look, Nvidia's right here. So Nvidia's really been flat and pretty choppy. So like Nvidia currently on the long-term chart, when you zoom out on the year, Nvidia looks like this. Where's my pen at? Nvidia's right here. Hello. Hey, I'm streaming. What? Okay. All right. All right. Love you. Bye. Alright. So yeah, Nvidia's not down. It could be worse, right? It could be worse. Let me switch to the micro contracts. I don't want to get stuck accidentally trading. Now, I could try to buy this dip, but I could take one contract here. I'm just going to try to be again, if short-term trade scalps are not working, I'm going to just try to take long-term trades. But, man. This is my actual funded account, too. So, this is a different account, by the way. We're up about 20. This is nice and all, but, like... Alright, so we just made 20 bucks. I'll scalp the little $20. That's fine. We just have so much extension on the downside now. I would assume we start to bounce back. But who freaking knows, man? It's been bloody 2 days. I know it's not just me. I know a lot of other people said everybody else is losing money too. So it looks like I did a poll. Are you red or green over the last 2 days? 62% say red. So most people were red. Okay, Steven, dude. Steven, I'm just going to fully ban you because you keep saying the same thing even though I asked you not to. You're pumping this really weird stock. John streams every day of his life, and his wife calls and asks what he's doing. Honestly, bro, I get mad at my family sometimes. Like, especially my daughter. My daughter is just like me in that, like, I have OCD regarding time. You might not realize it, but, like, I have some OCD. I really do. Like, I specifically revolves around, like, email checking and time. I don't like being late for things. Specific things, right? Some things I don't care if I'm late for. But there's specific things I don't like being late for. And you know, it's ironic because Carol, I love her, but she's late for freaking everything. But my daughter has the same thing. So she wants to be on time for everything. And so my daughter will come in here, and like it's on a day where we have like big economic reports. We've kind of gotten into it because my daughter will literally show up, pushing my wife to leave early for school, even though she doesn't need to be early. She'll show up. It's 8:29 in 30 seconds. And my daughter's coming in here like, hey, like we gotta do this, we gotta do that, mute your stream, daddy. We gotta do this. And I just gotta be like, hey, look, y'all are gonna have to wait 5 minutes at least. Like I can't mute my stream for a couple minutes so that, and basically if the whole stream is dedicated to a specific economic report and we got thousands of people here, which we do, like the big streams, it happened for CPI where we had like 4,000 or 5,000 concurrent viewers, and she's trying to get me to just basically like, we know 4,000 or 5,000 people are watching, but like, just ignore them, I want to be to school. I want to be at school 10 minutes early. And it's just like, all right. But yeah, worst time ever. It's a running joke of the channel. Carol will come in here the worst time ever. I love her, but hey, Jay, I can't tell if you're really being scammy or if you're trolling. Are you trolling, Jay? Or are you genuinely trying to plug some type of... Okay, good. Yeah, I'm going to delete it anyway, just because some people don't freaking know. Need a lighted sign on door, say on air, daddy at work. Hey, I'm going to buy that right now. All right, we did get that big rebound that I was pushing for all freaking day. Again, it's kind of unpredictable, but still. I'll let the trolls troll. Again, what he's trolling for is something I talk about regularly, where if you look at the comment section of a lot of YouTube channels, it'll be something written kind of like this. It'll say, I used to struggle financially until I met Billy Walters. Billy Walters helped me earn through stocks. Or no, it'll usually be like, I used to struggle financially until I found stocks. Trading expert Billy Walters helped me earn $5,326 daily using his masterful trading strategy, And then they'll send another bot comment. They'll be like, Billy too? What? Billy helped me earn $5,723.87 yesterday. Cough, cough. Join the WhatsApp. Cough, cough, cough. And again, like naive people, mostly like literal baby boomers, like literal just older people, will see that comment and somehow think they're getting insider edge here with Billy. And they will join the WhatsApp and be like, hey. And then the guy, probably some Middle Eastern dude, will be like, yo, I can earn you 75% tomorrow. Just send me 100K. Wink, wink, wink. I'm a trading expert. And most of them are like, nah, this is BS. But a small percentage, even if just 1% of them end up falling for the scam, that can pay big money for the scammers, right? So that's what they're looking to do. And that happens a lot. Like, again, I've run this YouTube channel for years and years. The amount of, like, scammer bots that you see trying to do that is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah. Alright, guys. Again, we kind of got our butt kicked again this morning. That's day 2 in a row. John got his butt kicked. I'm going to short the top of this again. See if we can catch another. There's another $20 gain, so that's not too bad. A little $40 in the last 2 trades. I'll take it. But man, they've honestly gotten better. So YouTube did a good job. Whenever the CrowdStrike drama happened, they disappeared. They stopped. We don't get them anymore, really. Not really. Well, yeah, it's really easy to block when you have barely any users, Tony. You know what I mean? Like, YouTube has billions of views, like, regularly, so it's a different thing. Just much different thing. Like, the scale is different, Alright, chat. I'm hanging out, living life. Yeah, I went to jiu-jitsu yesterday, and everybody's like, dang, dude, I heard what happened the other day. And I'm sitting there like, crap, man. I don't want people looking at me like that, like I'm, like, too rough. It wasn't my fault. That's what I told him. Like, look, dude, I can't help it if my guy just didn't tap and ended up just, I can't help that. I let it go. I could have gone longer and just kind of, because honestly, it was kind of hard to tell whether he was out or not. And so I could have held it longer, but I literally let go of the submission just to see, because I heard some noise, and I let it go, and yep, he was out. Not my fault. Not my fault. All right. His fault, 100%. I'm kind of mad at him because it made, The reason I'm saying that, Mar, is not generalization. The reason I'm saying that is because a lot of the time it's someplace overseas, right? I'm not targeting anybody specifically. And really what I meant is that whole area over there is like, that's where they have a lot of like warehouses for scammers. It's just objectively true, right? Now I know some people from over there, and they're great people, so you get bad apples everywhere, but yeah. Again, I can't even knock them too much, right? Like, if I was them, Yeah, Tesla delivery numbers. Tesla down, breaking lows again here. Yeah. Yeah, one of the guys that taught me code was an Indian guy. He was really cool. And for English being a second language, he still was able to teach me programming, like, very well. JavaScript, React Native. It was his name, let me figure, I can't remember his name, let me see. It was... It was a while ago, I'm trying to find it. I can't remember his name. Hey, everybody be respectful here. Okay, I'm gonna ask be respectful of other people, other cultures, other languages, all that stuff. Be nice. It was a script React Native front-end programming. Now y'all got me going on this big long thing looking for Alright guys, we're still waiting. I don't know what's that. Alright, so we're dropping down. Nvidia bouncing back up almost the previous closing price. Tesla's still very, very weak. Part of me wants to buy this dip or short the movement here, but I like how most people are honest and say red. Yeah, you know some people are definitely lying. Hi from India. By the way, what's your full name? Sorry, I don't know, but I always your stream. You're really honest, bro. Oh, thanks so much, man. Do you want my social security number too, or like just my full home address? Which one's better? You know. Listen, man, it's all good. I'm not gonna give you my full name though. Why would I? My name's John. You know. Nice to meet you though, bro. You know. Tesla missed estimates by 420 vehicles. Yeah, I mean, they basically said that, again, Tesla numbers were better than the number I had prior to the report. Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you, AD. It's all good, bro. My name is John. You know, nice to meet you, man. The password is password, capital P, you know. All right, Nvidia right at the previous closing price. I do kind of want to short this, but I also think Tesla's basically dropped so much that we might start bouncing here. Nvidia over the previous closing price that we might start bouncing. Again, I might be wrong. My last name is DOE. All right, guys. Should have taken that trade, you know. Logic remains the same. What was the logic? And this is how you base trades short term in futures. Logic, Tesla's down so much it might start bouncing. Nvidia broke over the previous closing price. That's usually a good support level. That made the, you know, that was predictable, I guess. Should have taken it. Yeah, I know you guys know my last name. It's okay. It's one of the top 3 best last names in the world right now. Yeah, I mean, my last name is London. London. I mean, y'all can say whatever you want, but that's my last name. Looking at our poll numbers, 65% are honest folks, and they're saying they're red, which is good, because that's the truth. John Wick. Somebody told me I should create a YouTube channel with John Wick. Is the name of the trading channel, like candlestick wicks, you know. We did get the upward move, guys. I'm not gonna say I predicted it. Honestly, I wish my trades could correlate with my predictions sometimes, but hey, it's all good. John Sandman after yesterday, the day before yesterday, yeah. Again, it was his fault, bro. Again, yesterday at the gym, people were like, "Hey, man, I heard about yesterday." I'm sitting there like, great, you know. Like, I'm not rough when I roll with people. Like, I'm usually pretty gentle. You know? I mean, I'm not going to let them win, but, like, I'm gentle. Spy up to 568. He was a purple belt. A purple belt. So, in theory, he should have had much more experience than me. He's kind of a little guy, though. I mean, in all honesty, right? Like, he had to be like 5'6", you know? And so, but he's a purple belt. I'm a white belt. That should have canceled out that, you know, disparity. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I don't think I'm gonna make money today, even though the market kind of reversed, but would be a good time to get short, sell again, 10 contracts. Go long? I don't know. We're up too much for me to go long. I think we're probably going to be rangy today. We got payroll numbers the day after tomorrow. I think the market might be flat leading into that. And so I don't think it's time. I'm going to get out of here. Hey, y'all check out Top Step if you want to learn to day trade with less risk. I mean, most day traders lose. I think that's probably the same here, but it's a lot cheaper to lose on Top Step than it is to put up $5,000 and lose that, usually at least. There's no PDT role in futures. You can day trade short, buy market, sell market. I had very limited losses. I only lost $100 yesterday and today in challenge accounts. If I would have put that money up myself, I would have lost much more than that, thousands probably. And so it's just a much cheaper way. You still have some pressure, so it still teaches you how to trade under pressure. There's no commissions on Top Step X, only a tiny amount of fees. So I think it's just the biggest edge in funding right now. Although they're an affiliate or sponsor of mine, they pay me money. I'm biased because of it. Understand all these rules, chat. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all check out the link in the description if you want to see it. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. You can get up to 3 funded accounts, I'm pretty sure, but check with them. I'll see you guys later. I love you all. Y'all have a great day. Again, I'm one of the top 3 worst traders. I'll see you guys later.